everyone, today I've got your Jumanji The Next Level movie review. The gang is back again to take on whatever comes at them in the world of Jumanji. However, a lot has certainly changed this time around. So as far as the story goes, this next installment in the Jumanji franchise brings new challenges and higher stakes for some old and now really old players in the game of Jumanji. I was hooked from the beginning to end, and of course I did enjoy the sequel to Jumanji, the one that came before this, and of course the original Jumanji with Robin Williams, and I was thinking, okay, what can they possibly do in this movie? I'll be honest, I thought I wasn't going to like this movie at times, but the story felt new and refreshing, yet clever at the same time. I really liked the direction that they went in with this movie, and they weren't kidding around when they called this movie The Next Level, because they upped the ante and so much is going on this time around that it feels more enjoyable to watch. And it's really surprising because I feel like there is just more story and more substance and more levity to these characters and their actions and their interactions with one another. As far as the casting goes, you've got Dwayne Johnson, who once again returns as Dr. Bravestone, but I think he does a pretty good impression of Danny DeVito, especially when Danny DeVito is supposed to be playing this character, and I just, like, it amazed me at how almost accurate it was. I mean, it was pretty spot on to me. Kevin Hart plays Danny Glover's character. I mean, it was just so impressive and so laughable, and I thought those two actors also were hilarious just as themselves, but then once they get into, once Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart play these two legendary actors and playing these characters, I mean, it was just so funny. I was in stitches throughout watching the movie. And I thought their chemistry was also better than ever. You've got the return of Karen Gillan, who was also really nice to see as Ruby Roundhouse. And then you've got Jack Black. His Jumanji character was played by the guy who was originally Kevin Hart's character from the movie before this, and I thought, like, wow, that was just so amazing to see what kind of impressions Jack Black could do. I thought he was also very hilarious. Awkwafina, I thought, was really surprising to see here and see what she could do in this movie, and I thought what she did was also pretty nice to see, especially in some of her roles and the characters that she was sort of playing off of. And then you've got Nick Jonas, who was in the sequel, so it was also nice to see his character come back in this movie, even though he didn't really have that much to do this time around. But it was cool to see how well these actors could change up, their personalities and who they were playing as, and it totally worked. So the things that I liked about this movie was that the jokes were placed in a genius fashion where I was laughing my head off. So I think it worked out pretty well, and I was shocked at how funny this movie ended up being. And the action scenes looked cool, and the pacing was, for the most part, fast, yet there were times when I feel like it dragged on, so it's kind of like a dislike in a way where I felt like, okay, it could have been a little bit more consistent, especially towards the third act. And not to spoil anything, but there is something that connects to the original first Jumanji movie that I thought was really awesome, and it's like, it didn't hit me at first, it didn't register, and I was like, now I got it. Like, that was pretty genius. So overall, I would say that I really enjoyed myself watching this movie. I'd probably see it again because I think, for what it was, I thought it was just a nice outing and a pretty awesome movie altogether. So I would highly recommend seeing this movie, whether or not you've seen the original Jumanji or you just prefer that and you don't really care for these sequels. But I thought this sequel was also pretty nice. So I would give this 4.5 hearts on the heart rate scale. So let me know in the comments what you guys thought of Jumanji The Next Level. And as always, you guys can subscribe to my channel. I've got more movie reviews, movie updates. Come back every week for a Child Thursday video. You guys can also like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter. And I will see you guys later.